Here's a thought. Um, so I was thinking today, like I usually do with a lot of different subjects, and one of the subjects I hit today was infinity, time, and what was the other? There's something kind of had to do with those. Infinity, time, and eternity. Okay. Time. It's very simply put. It's what separates one moment from another. Thus, we have a past, we have a present, we have a future. We have those because we have this dimension called time. And that dimension is what breaks up moments. So that way we can experience one moment separate from another. Okay, that's basically what time does. It separates moments. Okay, and then we have ways of recording time. That's your clock, your stopwatch, your typical anything that really records time. That's a recorder of time in a way of measuring it, passing, those moments passing. That is not time itself, just so you know, just in case you didn't. Yes, there are some people out there that think that. You need to think a little harder. In any case, that was not a slam to anybody. Sorry. Well, kinda, but whatever. Past that point. Time. What separates moments? I don't remember strictly which definition, which dimension that was. Part of me wanted to say that was a fourth, but I believe that was like the Tesseract, and not from the Avengers. Like it's an actual shape called a Tesseract. So I want to say it was fifth dimension, somewhere around there. Fifth, fourth, maybe sixth, but I don't think it was sixth. In any case, time is a dimension, and it's what separates one moment from another. And infinite, okay? It means something that goes on forever, and it's what we assumed time was. But then we discovered that not only do we have a time limit, and everything else on the earth has a time limit, but the earth has a time limit, the sun, and even the universe, okay? With that being said, that means, does time actually go on forever, or does it itself have a limit? I personally think it does. Just like any dimension, it has its own limits, okay? And I believe time does have a limit. Imagine how the first dimension, okay, it's just like most people describe it as a dot. So let's go a little above that to the second dimension, a line from one dot to another, straight line. Second dimension, okay, it's length. With that being said, we can mess with that dimension and constantly create things in it and erase things from it because we are dimensions higher than that. So we can mess with that dimension. There are dimensions higher than time, and beings and things and stuff in that dimension can warp, mess with, or end things in the time dimension, presumably, and assuming that there are beings outside those dimensions, which I kind of assume there is. That's just how I am. In any case, with that being said, I think time has a limit. So infinite is not time. Infinite is something that can go on forever. So for instance, it's like the number pi. Okay, the reason we gave that a special name and a symbol is because it goes on for infinity and it has no pattern as far as we know, and it just goes on forever. So we had to assign it a symbol because we cannot actually assign it a very specific amount due to the fact that it's infinite. And if you think about it, an infinite number is used to measure and help us out with an infinite or ongoing shape, the circle. You could just keep repeating that circle over and over and over and over and over and over again. I think that's why we have an infinite number, to help us draw out or understand an infinite type of shape, such as the circle. So, interesting thought there. I'm getting a little off track there. But in any case, infinite. It goes on forever. Is there an end to it? Or is infinite like a time outside of time? That's a thought. Is it a time outside of time? Maybe, maybe not. In any case, these are just thoughts, and that was one that crossed my mind. Drop what you think down in the comments below, because I'd be interested to see. Forgot to put on my hat. Lone Star. All right, back to it. Eternity. A lot of people assume that eternity is all of time, okay? And that time is infinite, okay? So eternity is usually defined by an infinite amount of time. I don't think it is. I personally think that eternity is a place without time because there's an end to time. And again, this is based off my thought. This is not based off, science, kaboom, this is true. However, it might be because I want to try and find some stuff to back this up just because this is an interesting thought and you should kind of look into it if you're like, no, that's not true. But here's what I think is true. There is an ending point to time. It is not infinite. Infinite must be something bigger or beyond time, dimension-wise. That means eternity has to be redefined because it is not an infinite amount of time, okay? I think eternity is a place without time. And if time is what separates moments, then that means eternity is like that, except without end, meaning it's everything happening at once all the time without time because there's no time to separate the moments. So eternity is just a lot of stuff happening within a shorter amount of time than the blink of an eye because there is no time. It's really hard to perceive once you take time out of it because time is how we perceive everything currently. So we have to rethink everything entirely and try and think beyond the dimension we are in, which I do personally believe we're capable of. I think our bodies are part of this dimension and limited to it, but I don't believe our spirits are. So if we get more in touch with who we actually are, not who we think we are, then we might be able to actually solve or think more on this problem and have some interesting thoughts on it. So in any case, there was my thoughts for the day, and I'd be interested to see what you guys think about that and what you guys have to say about that. Share what you think down in the comments below. Share this video, give it a like if you don't mind, and share it with people that you know would be interested in stuff like this and would be like, hey, that is an interesting thought, okay? Because I don't want you to just like share and be like, oh my gosh, this dude's stupid. I mean, sure, you could share for that reason too, but they're probably not going to want to watch all the way through, so don't bug your friend that way, okay? Anywho, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching thus far, and see you later.